Today I want to talk to you about one of my favourite oils, frankincense, known as the king of the oils. And one of the first things to really take on board is the fact that people have considered frankincense super valuable since the beginning of time, really. If you're familiar with the story of baby Jesus and the three wise men, you'll know that frankincense was one of three gifts that they brought to the newborn baby Jesus. And along with myrrh, which is another essential oil, and gold. So we all know how valuable gold is, and it's an interesting way to really own and understand how valuable frankincense has been for people since the dawning of time. So the first thing I wanted to share with you is the fact that frankincense has this magical ability almost to amplify the effects of any other oil. So if you use it in conjunction with any other oil, frankincense will actually amplify the benefits of that oil. So for example, one of the things that I like to do is use the frankincense in the Touch roller bottle, just because it's really convenient, alongside lavender for my children at bedtime. So I'll pop the lavender along with some frankincense on the soles of their feet and down the centre of their spine, to really boost the effects of the lavender so that they get nice and calm before bedtime. Another way I really like to use it is for yoga, where I'll use it in conjunction with the balance blend on the soles of my feet, because I tend to be a bit wobbly when it comes to yoga, and spend more time flat on my face than I do in any pose. But when I use the frankincense and the balance on the soles of my feet, I find that I'm much more balanced, and it's really fantastic for that. I also use frankincense on the third eye when I'm meditating or doing yoga, because of its grounding effects. It's got lots of grounding benefits, the Touch rollerball is really useful for that, because you can just pop it in your bag and take it with you for your yoga classes or your meditation classes or whatever it is that you're doing. It's just super easy. You can also use fractionated coconut oil if you want to mix the frankincense another way as well. So those are some of the ways that I really like to use frankincense. It's also wonderful for the skin. So if you have any sort of wrinkles or any bumps on the skin or anything like that, frankincense is wonderful for smoothing the skin out and kind of really smoothing out any wrinkles or bumps that you might have. This was actually one of the things, it's one of my miracle stories, really. I'm just about to turn 40 and I started to notice these fine lines in the corners of my eyes. And so I started using frankincense neat on my skin a couple of times a day, and those lines have gone. And it's also started to have an effect on, I have some pigmentation, it's covered up with makeup right now, but I have some pigmentation on my skin, and I've had all kinds of treatments to try to lessen that pigmentation, including laser. I've actually had a laser on my skin to try and lighten it and bring the pigmentation to the surface, but nothing has worked until the frankincense. And actually just popping a little bit of frankincense on there every morning and evening, I'm definitely noticing a difference in that pigmentation. It's starting to lighten up, so that's really wonderful. And we all want those beautifying effects in our lives, so that's a wonderful thing that frankincense can do for us. We can take frankincense internally as well, and a great way to do that is by popping a few drops of frankincense into these veggie caps and taking those just like a normal, a capsule that you would normally take. But you can also just literally take the frankincense and pop a drop directly underneath your tongue if you like the taste of it, which I do. That's just something I do every morning just to ground my energy and to really benefit from those grounding effects that frankincense has. Frankincense supports cellular health, and that's why I really like to take it internally, although whichever way you use the oils, whichever way you use frankincense, it's going to permeate every cell in your body anyway. So whether you're applying it topically or taking it internally or using it in a diffuser and breathing it in aromatically, experiencing it that way, it's going to have an effect on every cell of your body very quickly anyway. But if you walk into a room where frankincense has been diffusing, there's a really wonderful grounded feeling to that room. So if there's ever a kind of a turbulent time that you're going through, or that someone in your family is going through, frankincense is a wonderful oil to diffuse to really benefit everybody that's in your environment. So that's a little bit about how we use frankincense in our house. I hope that that was useful, and I'll see you soon.